difference between last weekend and this weekend. Huge. Now we got Jack on the team. Welcome to the Mammoth, Jack. Typically one player doesn't make that much of a difference, but tonight it absolutely did. Dylan was seeing the ball fantastic. The guys were finding the pieces of the net instead of hitting the chest. What happened? I mean, it was like night and day.
I think part of it is that I've always said, like, we've got good character in the room, and everyone was really embarrassed about last week, so we played different. Guys played with more energy, we got to the middle more, but yeah, adding Jack makes a really big difference. Just makes the offense a little more dynamic, I think, and you know, their defense has to pay more attention to him, which opens up other guys on the floor. So yeah, it's just that energy though. There was some like Warren Jeffrey scoring that transition goal. Those are things that we weren't getting in the past, and just how the energy that it brought to the team really made a difference, I think.
Coach, funny that Zed would return on a night where it felt like Jack did some of the things Zed kind of left. Did you feel a little of that? Just some of the physical play and that give you that strong righty again?
Yeah, a bit. You know, I loved having Zed here, and but I feel like they're two really different players. Like Jack's a problem when he's in the open field. He's going to make guys miss, and Zed is more of a wrecking ball, where Jack, I think, has a little more finesse than that. But for sure, just seeing a big, strong righty for sure reminds me of Zed.
I am curious, Jack. You had some going with Will Malcolm immediately. I mean, you had those highlight goals. I think your shoes were as high as the crossbar on your dunk, but you just had that back and forth. Did you work with something on Malcolm last night, or have you guys played together before? Where did that come from?
No, I would just say Will's a heck of a player. You know, he was getting open all night and you know, showing me his stick when he wanted the ball. Honestly, my goal tonight was honestly just to gel with everybody, get my niche into the offense, and make sure I was helping the team as best I could. And yeah, Will was there, and he's open, and he's a heck of a player.
Jack, you've played here before, but not in a Mammoth uniform. What was it to kind of finally get that, you know, first game under your belt, and then obviously net that first goal?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's a heck of a lot different than when you're the away team. You know, it's pretty awesome to have that crowd behind you, and yeah, I mean, I don't know, the first goal, I didn't really realize how big of a pop it was going to make. So couldn't be, you know, more excited to play in front of these fans, and I thought it was, you know, awesome experience.
Coach, could you talk a little bit about Saris too? I mean, he was another entry in the lineup, had a couple goals tonight. Were you pleased with what you got from him?
For sure, yeah. Just to see, he's a skilled player that can score, and I think he's been trying to find his way a bit, and you know, maybe him watching a game. I think there's some real benefit for younger guys watching games from up top. You see the game differently, and also it lights a fire under them, and we saw that with him, and man, it was great to see him scoring goals too.
So, Coach, how do you take the energy from tonight into next weekend's game against Georgia?
I'm open to suggestions. Do you have any suggestions? I think that is the key to this sport. That's the key to most sports, is to how to replicate this. And I think the challenge is that we don't need to get shit kicked to have urgency. We need to. Personally, I feel like we owe Georgia. We didn't give them a real good game. So if we're not prepared for next week, then again, we have the wrong guys in the room. But I don't think that's the case. It's just like really, it's the belief in the room. I think like some success like this can be contagious, and everyone, when we win a game like this and everyone's like hurting in the room and we're tired and everyone's cramping, and there's no better feeling than that, like to actually have bled for your teammates. So I think it's just building on that.
Coach, Rochester cut to 14-12 there late in the fourth quarter. How proud are you of your group just to finish that game?
Huge. Like, we're really proud of them, and especially Thomas Vela was like struggling to put the ball in the net, and he scored some big goals for us there. And Jalen Chaster, when they are pressing him like that, and for him to pull out and find Thomas like that just great. I thought some guys that maybe were struggling to find their game found their game tonight, and that's what's going to make us successful.
Jack, in the first quarter, you scored not only once, but twice in quick succession, including that impressive diving goal. What do you think your biggest quality that you bring to this Mammoth team is?
you know, I'm still trying to piece together what, you know, my job is and everything like that. So, I don't know. I think it's good to have a set of legs that make you move pretty quick. So, kind of just be helpful in that sense. I think, like Coach was saying, it opened up some space for some other guys. But, you know, I scored 2 goals. We scored a lot more than that. So, you know, it was a team effort, and there's a lot of guys, you know, playing some really good lacrosse out there, and it was just good to be on the floor with them. And yeah.
Is it cool to pull the old Mammoth logo on for you, and then being a DU guy and being local and all that? Did you ever dream of playing here while you were at DU, or what were the goals?
I mean, yeah, like the first NLL games I've ever came to were the Mammoth. So, you know, this was my first experience with the game. Once I came once, I was, you know, coming to as many games as I could when the schedule permitted it. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's really, really, really cool. I think when you play at DU, you hear about a lot of guys that played for the Mammoth, and you know the Mammoth players, and you look up to those guys and the way they play lacrosse and kind of how they handle themselves. And I've always thought the Mammoth are a really tough group that plays really hard lacrosse. And you know, I'm excited to be a part of it and continue to kind of grow and learn and become the best Mammoth that I can.
Coach, I've asked you about him 1,000 times, and when Dylan notched his 10,000th minute in the league, and I mean, to me, it was probably the biggest reason why you got that 2022 banner hanging up there. Can you just talk about Dylan Ward and your career so far?
Just, yeah, when you, I don't know, for you guys, but I think when you think of the Mammoth, you think of Dylan. Like, first and foremost, that he's been here longer than I've been here. So, and most of those minutes have been really quality minutes. It's hard to, like, I know there's maybe some weak minutes in there, but they're very, very few. So, yeah, I don't think there, you know, we were asked about 14-12. There was a part of that was Dylan that kept us at that, right? Like, where he made some saves that allowed us to get those goals. So, I don't know. Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time here, and he keeps doing it well.
Jack, what are your impressions of him? I mean, again, he gets 10,000 in the league, 6th all-time now on the list, and Johnny Goliath said on the broadcast a couple times he made some saves that he wasn't even sure from bench level how he was making. Just for your thoughts on your new teammate and your netminder.
Yeah, so I actually do play with Dylan in the summers. So I've had some experience with Dylan. I've been around him quite a bit now, and excited to be his teammate again in the NLL now. But you know, for all the incredible plays that Dylan makes, I would say his composure and his attitude on the bench and in the locker room and who he is as a leader is probably one of his most important qualities. And I think it becomes pretty clear because, you know, whenever the team needs it, he's the guy to step up, right? And like Coach is saying, at 14-12, Dylan made some huge saves, and that's Dylan Ward, you know, the guy's one of the greatest goalies ever play.
Coach, with Ryan going out tonight, what do you think? Doubtful for next week? Give him some rest? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
saw that it was pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what the doctor says, and but I don't know. Yeah, he's a really big part of the team, so it's hard to see him go down like that. Especially he's had just some tough breaks in the past, and to see him go down, it hurts.